Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Little Things Podcast, and I'm your host, Bella. Alrighty. So, today we are going to be talking about friendship. I know that I kind of talked about boys in another one of my episodes, but today I'm going to kind of just dive into kind of, you know, why are friendships so important to have? Why is it so important to have close friends and have people around you that care about you, um, and all that good stuff? So, we can kind of start out. I obviously had different phases of friends. I feel like everybody has had different phases of friends, but I really only stuck to like a few friends here and there. I stuck to a few friends here and there, and I think it's I think that does tie into my anxiety a little bit. I think that having a lot of people and having, a big friend group, like I didn't like all that. I kind of just liked having one person that I spent my time with. And I guess starting in elementary school, I remember in preschool I had these two really close friends, and there were two girls that I grew up with, and I obviously don't remember much from preschool, but I just remember always having like funny stories that my mom would tell from when we were younger. And that's kind of how it was. Like I remember my mom was like trying to set up play dates and all this other cute little stuff that we would do. But as I got older, I remember having one friend that I got really close with, and she was pretty much like my one friend that I had for a good amount of time. Her name was Brooke, and we were really close. She went to my high school, or she went to, we were in school together, and we did literally everything together. Like I remember I would always be at her house or she would always be at mine, and we would just have fun and be complete idiots because that's what you do when you are a kid or you're growing up. And I remember we used to play like school and stuff, and we played doctor and like all that cute little stuff. I mean, I filmed YouTube videos. Like that's the kind of stuff that me and her did together. It was a lot of fun. And I remember there was obviously drama, with me being friends with her. We kind of went in another friend group as well, and that led to more people and more friends. I remember I was friends with a girl that lived down the road from me, and it's just crazy because I had two neighbors. So, and one of them, she lived directly across the street from me, and she was so much older than I was, and, like, I was in kindergarten and she was, like, in middle school, like, that's what the age difference was, and there was another girl that lived farther down the street from me, and I was more closer with her because the girl across the street from me moved away, and so me and the girl that lived farther down the street, we used to hang out all the time. And I also remember we used to play with those like Littlest Pet Shop things, and it was just so much fun. She taught me how to braid hair. We would run around with my cousins, and she was close with my family. I would always go over there, and I would just remember asking my parents, can I stay for dinner at so and so's house? Like, am I allowed to eat dinner over there?" It's just like those wholesome little moments with good friends, good people, and those were good people. And I remember, so the friend that I had in high school, Brooke, or not high school, I keep saying high school, but the friend that I had in like elementary school, she was like my closest friend in elementary school. Um, I remember her getting a boyfriend, and I think that is like what kind of ended our friendship. And that is something that I was like, holy like it broke my heart. It truly did. And I didn't understand like, oh my gosh, why doesn't she want to be friends with me anymore? And I flipped out. I remember as a kid, I was already like a crybaby, crazy child. But on top of that, I'm just like, what is going on? Like, she has a boyfriend now and I don't. And all this stuff. So we eventually ended up growing apart. And it really hurt me because she was so close with me, and I was so close with her. Our families were close, and we knew each other for years. And then all of a sudden, it just like we grew apart, and that's okay. And that is something that like I didn't, realize is that people grow up, and sometimes those friendships grow apart from each other. And I am grateful for all the memories that I feel like I can't really compare it to like a romantic relationship because friendships are totally different. Friendships for me are so much more meaningful. Um, but I'm saying that now, but because I really haven't had like a really deep romantic relationship. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. But when it comes to friendships, those are just the people that really cared about me and kind of, resembled family in a way for me. And so when that friendship ended, um, yeah, I remember it being a really, I was really sad about it, obviously, because whenever I was younger, I would only like stick to one friend at a time, and I feel like I only got close with one friend at a time. And then when we weren't friends anymore, I felt like I had nobody. Like I felt like I had nobody to hang out with. I felt so alone, but it's okay. I went through it. I got through it, and that's that. When I was younger, having those friends that lived down the street from me, I still talk with one of them, and she took some of my senior pictures, which was amazing. Checking in with her every once in a while. A lot of my friendships that I had when I was really young, understandable that we grew apart because, you know, when you're in school or you're in a certain environment that, there's other people around, you kind of conform yourself to be more like that person, and you kind of kind of shape shift and change who you are a little bit just so that you can fit in as a kid. I remember I did that a lot just so that I would feel accepted or wanted in a friend group or anything like that. And ultimately, whenever we found ourselves, we just realized that, hey, maybe this isn't the best friendship. Maybe we aren't that similar, and maybe we aren't, the best kind of dynamic duo for each other, and that's okay. Obviously, now I realize that sometimes friendships, they're not going to be, forever. They're not going to be, perfect. You're going to get in arguments, and sometimes those arguments are going to be the end of it. But sometimes those arguments make that relationship you have with that person 10 times stronger. So, I want to kind of talk about my closest friend, and that is Piper. And I met Piper when I was in geometry class freshman year in high school. And I always thought Piper was like the cool girl, and she was just like, she talks with everybody and she has the best laugh, all this stuff. Like, I thought she was so cool. And I'm like, oh my God, like, Piper is talking to me. Like, this is so fun. And we would joke around with each other in class. And then, class ended at 2:21. And so we would always take a selfie together at 2:22 at the end of the school day together. And we have like a whole album of photos from us taking photos at 2:22. And, there has been many situations where I said something that hurt her feeling, or like she said something, and we get in arguments and stuff like that. But I feel like Piper is just so much different than all my other friends because Piper, we get in these arguments and we fight like fucking sisters, but we love each other, and we know that we're good people, and we don't want, us to be, out of each other's lives. And, our families are so close too. And, I say the same thing. Like, I don't mean to compare the two, but I kind of said the same thing about me and Brooke. But that was when we were like babies then. We were like babies. And, me and Piper, in high school, we did everything. We did driving school together. I remember that was like our very first little, I don't know, she would always come over to my house for driving school, and it was like Zoom call driving school. That's why she would like come over, because we would set up our laptops in my dining room, and we would listen and take these tests and make fun of people and laugh whenever we fart on the Zoom call, like stupid kid stuff. But we just ended up getting so close, and we went to prom together, we went to homecoming together, and she became my best friend. I remember a situation in it was senior year. And so I had obviously other friends. I have really close friends and then there's just like my friends, Like cuz I know a lot of people. I started getting close with two people that went to my school, my high school, and they, didn't meet Piper. And I feel like I had a lot of small groups, but they didn't mix. They didn't mix. And, there was an issue with prom. Prom was like, my senior year prom. There was a big, I guess, I don't know. There was a problem because I wanted to go to prom with the two close friends that I was getting close with, but then I also wanted to go to prom with Piper. Like we made a promise, I feel like sophomore year that we were going to go to prom together or senior year. Like we were very close and we wanted to make sure that like that's our last school dance, like we are going to that together. And so I obviously wasn't, giving up on that. So I asked these two friends if they would be okay with joining, with Piper and being in a prom group with Piper because that was the thing. You have to be in like the same table. So I was like, is it okay if Piper is in our group? And it turned into my friends pretty much just judging Piper blindly for, what kind of person they think she is. Mind you, they haven't met. They haven't hung out with each other. They haven't met. These my friends were just blindly judging Piper based on what they think she's going to act like or how they created an image in their head. And it really just spiraled everything. And two friends that didn't want to go in the group with Piper, they would be like, "Oh, I don't want to go because da da da, like I think she's whatever." And then when Piper asked me like, "Hey, are we good for prom?" I would be like, "No, so and so said this." And I'm just like, looking back, that probably wasn't the best way to go about it because I feel like I stirred the pot a little bit, but it obviously hurt Piper's feelings because these people are shitting on her when they have no idea what kind of person she is. So that was fucked up. And then, now I'm in this divide where I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so, at the end of the day, like how they handled the situation and how Piper handled the situation, I ended up going to prom with Piper because I didn't feel like I wanted to surround myself with people who, you know, judge people so quickly and just make a decision based on what they think. And, at the end of the day, me and Piper are still just as close. And those two friends have each other. So, I mean, whatever. I'm not shitting on nobody, but yeah, I feel like I ultimately made the right decision. You know, Piper has been my friend for years at that time, and there was no reason for me to ditch her for like some new people who are being assholes about it. So, I went with Pepe. So ended up going to prom together and we had a lot of other like I don't even know if that story made any sense, but we had a lot of those situations come up. And me and Piper, because we spend so much time together, it's really easy for both of us to like kind of get jealous a little bit. And um I have definitely gotten jealous for like, Piper's hanging out with this person now. Oh my gosh, she has a new BFF, all this stuff. And it's normal. It's completely normal to feel those things. And, I think that just expressing and communicating what you're feeling to those people, it's only going to make them understand you more as a person and, how it makes you feel that you're hanging out with this, whatever. Another situation that happened is, you know, Piper has a lot of friends too. And so there, came along some people who didn't like me as much. And obviously that hurt my feelings. And I kind of, I kind of just needed to accept that, I just because I choose to spend time with Piper doesn't mean that I have to spend time with everybody else she surrounds herself with. And I really think that people should be, picky about who they spend their time around because at the end of the day, like, I don't know, it's your people and you want your people to be who you are and be comfortable with the people, other people that they're around. And you know, I I am not the type of person to be like, "Oh, Piper's hanging out with her. I'm not friends with her anymore." Like I'm not going to be I'm that is when the level of maturity comes into play. And, in middle school and in high school, things may have been different and been like, "Ugh, I'm not talking to her because so and so talked to her yesterday." Like, grow up. Like, people have different friends and it's okay if you don't like them because if they like them, then that's fine. They can hang out with them, but it doesn't mean I have to. Does that make sense? I don't know. But I definitely think that me and Piper have, reached that level of maturity where we can accept that, maybe some of the people that we hang out around, we might not like them. And that's okay because we like each other and we like spending time together. So that's totally fine. And I think that, there comes a point where ultimately, like I said, I I think that just having, being mature about your friendships and being honest and communicating and trusting that that other person, like even if, one of your friends is hanging out with somebody else, trusting that they're going to be a good person and they are going to, be there for you whenever you need it. And, that kind of leads me to my next thing. Even though me and Piper, have our other friends, but whenever we have other issues or, other situations where we need advice, I will be there for her through and through and I will give her the most unfiltered advice and be completely honest with her. And I will give her the two sides of the story whether she likes it or not because I'm that outside person looking in on her life and she trusts me. She trusts because I know who she is. I can help her navigate some of the harder situations that she's going through. And, I think that's really important. I think it's really important that the people, the friendships that you have, they know, where you need help and they care about you and all that good stuff. But I, I have been through many situations where I'm like, Piper, you're seriously doing this again. Like I told you last time, da 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 da, whatever. And don't get me wrong, me and Piper can come for each other's throats sometimes. There's some times where we're just like, yeah, I think we need a little break. Because we're human and we have normal human emotion and sometimes we just need me time and that's okay too. And we communicate that with each other. Like I feel like a lot of people get so frustrated when they like cancel plans or any of that stuff. But just communicating like, "Hey, I don't really feel good and I'm not going to lie, I really don't feel like hanging out with you tonight because my social battery is dead." So, but stuff like that, just communicate that with your friends. Communicate, communicate, communicate. That is like the biggest thing. And if you're, in a friendship with somebody that doesn't communicate and they kind of, aren't blunt with things because I'm a very blunt person. Like, if somebody comes to me for advice, I am giving you like no filter, just boom, you know? And, I all that good stuff. And Piper, we are still so extremely close. I feel like whenever we graduated high school, there was a time where our friendship was kind of struggling because we weren't seeing each other every day and it was kind of hard to adapt to the new lives that we had and making time for each other. And, I we struggled with the idea of, "Oh my god, are we growing apart too? Like, are we like, holy shit, are we growing apart?" That was kinda like the thought that was going through our head, but at the end of the day, we talked through it. We both, understood that, yes, we as individuals are growing. We are gonna constantly be growing, but no matter what, no matter what Piper, grows into or changes into, I'm always going to be there for her and she's always going to be there for me. And whether we're I don't know, just it's really easy to think like, "Oh my god, I'm going to grow apart from this person because time keeps moving and we're on different paths of life and stuff like that." But if they truly care about you and they truly want you in their life, they will do anything in their power to make that happen. And they, you know, they will have the initiative to want to be with you and want to hang out with you in their free time. And that is something that me and Piper accepted, and we moved on from it. And I'm sure we are going to have many arguments in our future, but we know what kind of people we are, and we know how to talk things through and not just, forget about it and whatever. And our intuition for each other is like insane. We'll be like, Bella, you need to tell me what's going on. Like, that's what she'll say to me. She'll be like, Bella, what's going on? Like, there's something wrong. You just need to tell me. And there are hard situations where I'm like, oh, I don't wanna tell Piper this. Like, oh my gosh, I think she, but I always end up telling her, just little stuff like that. And when I worked at Starbucks, I made a lot of friends there. I made a lot of my closest friends, or I met a lot of my closest friends at Starbucks. And in the Starbucks environment, I was a baby. At one point in time, I was the youngest employee or barista at the store. And, I'm making friends with all these older people. And, I want to kind of embrace that and want to be like them and want to, have that older, I guess, facade. But, I still am going to be myself. I'm still going to make the stupid decisions and learn from them and grow from them. And I think a lot of it is I feel like I'm annoying towards them. Like some of the older people that I spend my time around with, I feel like I am, always, I don't know, I feel like I'm the annoying 5-year-old child in the corner and, making the stupid decisions again. But the more like I look at it, I'm not going to be sorry for doing that. I'm not going to be sorry for being 19 and making stupid decisions. And yes, I am an adult, but it's just like I'm growing and I know everybody else around me want what's best for me, but sometimes when it gets too much. Sometimes it gets too much where I like feel all this pressure that I'm going to do something wrong or I'm going to do something that is too childish around them. Like it's just I don't want to think like that, and I don't want to be put in that position. So that's like another one of those things. It comes down to just being yourself, and it comes down to not giving a fuck about what other people think, because at the end of the day everybody's going to have their own opinion about you regardless. And you shouldn't be surrounding yourself with people who are going to shit on you for the point in your life that you're at or anything like that, because this is our first time living, and that's that. But I'm kind of talking about all of my I'm going to get comfy real quick. um I kind of I really never had any guy friends. I was never one to have the guy friend. I didn't really talk to boys, like I said, my boy talk episode. I really wasn't interested, and all my friends are girls. And the people that I just have such amazing people in my life that they really mean a lot to me. And somebody else that really truly means a lot to me is Dakota. And Dakota, I did talk about her in a couple of my other episodes, how she's one of my role models and all this stuff. And we do live really close to each other now, and we do a lot of stuff together, but I feel like there is that age gap there, and I really think she gets annoyed with me sometimes, and that's okay. Like, that's gonna happen. I just, you know, we go maybe like a month of like hanging out with each other a lot and doing stuff a lot, and then I feel like she gets annoyed with me and then we need a break. That's really how I think. That's how I think it is. And it's like it's hard for me because I obviously like care about her so much and I know she cares about me, but I'm just like, did I do something like I don't know. I don't know. I overthink things a lot too. And I think that communication in any situation will resolve it. And I know we're going to be fine at the end of the day because just like me and Piper are like sisters, I feel like Dakota is my big sister that I never had. And she is that role model for me, and she does want what's best for me. And even when I fuck up, she's like, Bella, get your fucking shit together, you idiot. That's the kind of stuff that I need to hear sometimes. So, because I am a child, I guess, but I'm not a child. I'm an adult child with two eyes, two ears that I need to use. But anyways, at the end of the day, all of the friendships that I have in my corner right now, I have, I used to be scared shitless of Dakota. I used to be so scared of this girl. And, once I kind of uncovered that like shell that she has and she puts herself in whenever she's around new people, I found out that she is a really compassionate and amazing human being. And, I'm really grateful to, have gotten close with her through Starbucks and still continue to get even more closer with her, being, we're both not at Starbucks anymore. So I think it's really cool that um, we have that relationship and we share that relationship with each other. So that's really nice. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But even though people might have that little shell that they put themselves in whenever whenever you meet somebody new or whenever you're around somebody new, I think, just like I said in the last one, you really have to get to know somebody to fully understand what kind of person they are so that you are able to be close with them and you are able to be that close friend. And I there's a lot of things in my life that I have screwed up. I've made mistakes. I've made mistakes in my friendships. I fucked up in situations and said the wrong thing or done the wrong thing. And all the people around me have still, they understand that I'm human and they understand that I'm going to make mistakes. And they know what kind of person I am on, under that shell. Those people are really what help you through a lot of the challenges that life throws at you. Friendships are so special to me, and everybody in my life is so special to me. You know, I have lots of friends that will have fun with me and, take care of me whenever I need it and want what's best for me. And even if we get into the little arguments, and even if, you know, we annoy each other and we want to kill each other and just rip our heads off, we know that even though we aren't blood related, we have each other and it's like our own little family. So, and that's all that matters. I really hope that, everybody that is listening has those kind of people in their life. And if you're stuck in a friendship that's toxic towards you and they're shitting on you, oh my gosh. And like friendships that are like, girls probably know what I'm talking about, but like friendships that are like a competition, like you're constantly going back and forth with them, send them on their way. Goodbye. There's the door, bitch. Okay? Send them on their way. Goodbye. Because you do not need to compete with anybody in any relationship to be the kind of person you are, okay? Because that just really pisses me off. I've had multiple little friendships where it's like it's back and forth of like, "Oh, I went to see the movie this weekend." "Oh, well, I went to the drive-in movie this week." You're like, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, that's okay because I'm just like I said, I ramble, so that's what we're doing. But anyways, I am beyond grateful for all of the people that I have in my corner. And, even Jessica, oh my gosh, Jessica is, she's my age. She's a little older than me, but she is something else, man. I mean, I love that girl to death. She just started working with me, and I have really been struggling at work, just like it's annoying to me and it's really been a bad couple of days. But having her there, like she just looks at me and says some like stupid joke or something, and I'm just like, this is the reason why, like, she's just an amazing person. Jessica really is an amazing person that I am so happy to have in my life and have in my corner. And, Audrey too. Audrey, this is just like a little side note of me just shouting out all the people that I really care about. But Audrey, she is just we're going to Sabrina Carpenter together tomorrow, and I'm so excited for that. But we've been, doing little FaceTime calls, talking about boys and all this stuff. I'm giving her advice, she's giving me advice, and it's just like I just appreciate all the little, moments that we have together, even if they're small, even if they're like Snapchat videos that we send to each other or just this, concert that we're going to tomorrow. It means so much to me that like we're hanging out together and, we're having fun because that's all that matters is if you're having fun with them and, you're living in the moment and you're embracing the time in your life that you're in and you are, sharing that happiness with the friendships that you have around you. That is what is really important. So, to all of my little friends that I have mentioned, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being such amazing friends and being, you know, even though I can be a psychopath and annoying and a stinky poo poo head sometimes. I almost said something else, but stinky poo poo head is more not explicit. Thank you. Thank you for being in my corner and thank you for being such amazing friends in my life and some of the very amazing friendships that I have. And that's only right now too. I mean, I hate to say that I go through a lot of friendships, but I do. I meet a lot of new people and I'm probably going to meet a ton of other friends too. But right now in my 19-year-old life, those are my people and I really appreciate all of them. And I don't know what to say anymore. I forget what I was gonna say. I forget what I was gonna say. Is it still? It is still recording. But I was gonna start talking about family a little bit because I do have people in my family that I kind of view as a friendship, and we have that really close bond. But I think I might save that for a different episode. So stay tuned for a little family talk. I think friendships is all about trust and is all about communication. And yes, you're human and you're going to make mistakes in these friendships and in these relationships that you just need to, accept that they're human and they're going to make these mistakes and you can only be there to give them the best advice and help them get through, some of the challenge that they have. And have fun. Have fun with the people. Life is way too short to, be holding grudges against other people and being annoyed about a certain situation. Life is way too short to do that. So, have the little moments, have the little get-togethers and just really love each other, and have a good old time all the time. So, but yeah, I think that is what time is it? I think that's really all I wanted to talk about friendships. They just really mean a lot to me and just communicate with your relationships that you have. And if you are listening, if you have been listening this entire time, just text your friends and check in on them and tell them that you appreciate them so much. That's what I want you guys to do if you have listened this far or this far into the episode. But I truly, truly, truly thank you all for all the love and support. I do see you and I do appreciate you all. So thank you. And thank you to all of the friendships that I've had. You know who you are. And even if we did grow apart and even if we are at different stages in our life now and, we are moving in different directions, I still appreciate you and I still appreciate every little memory that we shared together. So thank you. Um, so yeah, I think that is all the friendship little tips I have for today. But I thank you all so much for listening. And I have to get ready for work, unfortunately. So, yeah. Whether you are getting ready to start your day or you are getting ready to go to bed, I hope you have a wonderful day and sweet dreams. And thank you so much for listening to the Little Things podcast with Bella.
Oh yeah, friendships, yeah.
That's another thing. You can be your weird, goofy self around those people. That's another good thing to think about. You gotta make sure you can be your goofy, authentic self with your friends. Alright, I swear, if this thing ain't recorded,